Alright, so what you want to do is you want to make sure you shave off the top of the hole you drill for the rivet. The reason behind this is you want to have a flat flush surface for the rivet to go into. If it's not flat and flush, what happens is it might create a lip and it might come in lopsided. And you're going to have a little jagged edge that's going to stick out. And so you need to make sure you cut off the top of the hole, make sure there's no debris and that's flush and it's flat. So now I'm going to put the rivet in and make sure it's flush. So I've got a file here. I'm going to file off the top of the rivet just to smooth it down. Nice and smooth. I'm going to check the power button. Make sure that there's a good clean hole for it and that's beveled out properly. If it's touching the edge of the hole, it might glitch out and cause problems. So I just want to take a minute to clean that up. Looks pretty good for the most part, so take an extra second. Once again, this is where a really sharp X-Acto knife comes in hand. This is something I expect most other people to do with their hoops, but something I've done, thousands of times, and I've pretty much perfected that art. Alright, so now I need to add the negative end of the connection to the hoop. Make sure to pull out that end. So this is our negative end of the hoop. It's polycarbonate. And the reason you use polycarbonate is because it's really strong, it's really durable, it doesn't bend, and it prevents gaps from being created in the connection because it won't bend and pull apart like polypro or HDPE will. We also use springs in both ends. We use a spring on the positive end and the negative end of the hoop. What this does is no matter how aggressive you are and how much you beat the hoop, the battery will never lose connection with either spring. Because if it pushes one end, this spring will reach out and push force on the back end. And so it will never glitch out. And so you have to have two springs on a hoop to make sure that it does not glitch out. If you have one spring, you only have one force pushing against it. So if you push against one spring, there's nothing else to push against the other side. And so that creates a little gap on the back side. And so the battery is forced this way. There's nothing over here to push back. And so if you have one spring, you create a glitch and you'll get on and off action in your hoops. So you have to have two springs. It's imperative. So since this is a low voltage hoop, I need to make sure that I add another resistor, a main resistor. So we're going to go with a 1/2 watt resistor right here, real heavy duty. I like them, they got thicker wires and they're less likely to break off and snap, so heavier duty is better. Just solder one end on for now. Make sure that's on there really well. Stuff's going everywhere. Put that end in there. Connect it to the other end. Alright, snip off the extra wire, and we're good to go. push it in. Now I've got a AAA battery. It's a 3.7 volt battery. It's a lot more powerful than typical household AAA, which is usually about 1.2 volts. So this is 3 times as strong. We're going to go ahead and put it in, and you want to go ahead and connect it. As you can see, lights turn on. Check them all out. They all work. They're all equal brightness. Everything's okay with it. So now, make sure the battery's got a good distance between it. It's time to drill a hole and lock the connector in place. Same deal, hand drill. Reverse the pan out. Shave off the top, make sure there's no debris, residue. That way the rivet will fit in just right. Lock in. Make sure it's flush, there's no debris on there. Flat it down. So now we've got the hoop done. All you need to do at this point is drill a hole for the push pin to come out of. And some people do this earlier in the process. I like to do it at the very end. That way you can really make sure that the connection's super flush. And you can make sure that there's exactly enough space for the push pin to go into. So you can see the push pin through the polypro tubing. You really want to get the drill bit right over center, maybe a little further away from the connector. Don't drill all the way through. You just want to put kind of a main hole through so you know where to drill through. At this point, you can look at the push pin and you can try to see if it's situated properly. As you can see, it's almost perfect, but I might want to drill the rest of the hole out further this direction just to make sure it's flawless. So I'm going to open it up, put a little more pressure heading that direction to open it that direction. So again, get a really good X-Acto knife, bezel it out. You just kind of want to shave the top edge, make sure all this debris is out of the way. Because once again, you have one tiny little piece of plastic in the hole, and you ship it to a customer, the push pin won't pop through, and it's returned for a refund. And buyer goes on ICC, makes a big fuss about it. So just one tiny little thing can cause a huge uproar. So just gotta make sure everything is perfect. So now it's pretty much cleaned out. Just want to make sure it's extra cleaned out. Grab this tool and go inside and grab underneath. Make sure there's no debris underneath. Clean it up a little bit. Now you can close it. And perfect. Locks in just perfect. Easy. Power button works well. I can use it with one hand, turn it on and off. It's big enough for my thumb, so it should be big enough for everybody else's. And this is a completed LED Hula Hoop. It looks pretty good. The only thing I have left to do, I could probably heat treat it, make sure which helps the tubing expand and open up. But this is your $29.99 LED Hula Hoop. So, anytime you hear someone talking smack about how my hoops are made in China, how I cut corners, skip steps, or they're low quality, connection, you can just show them this video. And so this is, yes, this is our super cheap $29.99 LED Hula Hoop. And I guarantee you it's as nice as any $100 hoop you're going to find at any other shop. So, appreciate it. I know it's been a long video. Thanks for watching. I know I kind of skipped a lot of the details in here, some purposely, some just I'm just not really paying attention because I'm focusing on trying to build a hoop. But if you have any questions, just feel free to just post a question in the comments and I'll answer your questions for you. I'm not trying to hide anything here. I'm not trying to skip over things, but I mean, if you want to build your own hoops, I'll be glad to give you some tips and give you pointers and give you directions. I mean, when I first started making LED hoops, there's so much I had no clue about. There's so many tiny details. And it's the same details. I'll see other hoops from other shops and I'll see they're missing the same details. You know, they're doing something wrong that I realized I was doing wrong at a certain time. You know, something as simple as, you know, crimping the springs. You don't crimp them right, the tips of the batteries, they won't make a good connection with the springs. So you have to crimp the tip of the springs, make sure that battery tip can't go inside and make a connection. There's just there's hundreds of tiny little details that can cause a perfectly good LED hoop to not work properly. And most of these details I've found out from accepting free repairs. I've gotten hoops in for repairs, looked over the details, and found out that something was causing an issue. And so it's a complicated process, especially to make it over and over and make something that you can sell. I mean, electronics are not meant to be thrown around and beaten up. And so it's a real difficult process to make something that's durable, can withstand a ton of, you know, being thrown around and smacked back and forth and tossed in the air. But you know, over time you refine the process over and over and over, and eventually it works out well. So anyways, thanks again for watching. I hope this is informative. Maybe you want to make your own hoop. Maybe you already make hoops and you learned a few tips that you can incorporate into your own product. Go for it. I don't mind. I'm not here to keep all my trade secrets. I'm more than happy to share anything I know with you, whatever shop you may be. We're all one community, so let's stop tearing each other apart and let's come together. Anyways, I'm Jordan, I own the Hoop Company, and thanks for watching.